The Shop of Broken Shadows. In a village where the sun always shone a little too brightly, there was a tiny, crooked shop tucked between a bakery and a library. It had no sign, only a window filled with velvet boxes. This was the shop of Mr. Ledger, the man who traded in shadows. To a child, the shop was a place of magic. They would go there when they were bored of their own shadows, the ones that did exactly what they did. For the price of a single marble or a shiny ribbon, Mr. Ledger would unstick your shadow and let you rent a new one for an afternoon. One Tuesday, a young girl named Mia entered the shop. "I'm tired of my shadow, Mr. Ledger," she said. "It just follows me. I want one that can fly." Mr. Ledger, a man who looked like he was made of old parchment and kindness, reached into a silver tin. He pulled out a dark, shimmering shape that fluttered like a bird. He pinned it to Mia's heels. "Remember, Mia," he warned with a smile, "a shadow is a reflection of what's inside. If you fly too high, make sure you know how to come down." Mia spent the day leaping over fences, her shadow soaring above her like a hawk. To her, it was the best game in the world, but the adults of the village came to Mr. Ledger for different reasons. They didn't want shadows that flew. They wanted shadows that didn't show their age, their sadness, or their secrets. The mayor had traded his shadow for one that looked 10 feet tall and powerful. The baker had traded hers for one that always looked busy, even when she was exhausted. One evening a man named Thomas entered a shop. He was a successful clockmaker, but his eyes were heavy. "Mr. Ledger," he whispered, "my shadow is too heavy. It drags behind me like lead. It reminds me of all the time I've wasted. Give me something light. Give me the shadow of a child." Mr. Ledger sighed. "Thomas, a heavy shadow means you have lived a full life. It is heavy because it carries your memories. If I give you a light one, you might forget why you are who you are." "I don't care," Thomas insisted. "I want to feel light again." Mr. Ledger performed the trade. Thomas walked out with the small, dancing shadow of a young boy. At first, he felt wonderful. He skipped, he whistled, but when he sat down to work on a delicate clock, he found his hands wouldn't move with the same precision. When he looked at a photo of his late wife, he felt nothing but a vague, distant curiosity. By shedding the weight of his shadow, he had shed the depth of his love and the wisdom of his years. That night, a great storm hit the village. The wind howled, and the bright sun was replaced by a terrifying, swirling grey. In the darkness, the rented shadows began to panic. Mia's flying shadow tried to pull her into the sky. The mayor's giant shadow became a clumsy monster that tripped him. Thomas's light shadow simply blew away, leaving him feeling hollow and invisible. The villagers huddled in the center of town. They realized that in trying to be something they weren't, they had lost their footing. One by one, they stumbled back to Mr. Ledger's shop. "We want our own shadows back," they cried. Mr. Ledger opened the large velvet trunks. He didn't ask for money this time. He simply helped each person find their original shape. Mia took back her quiet walking shadow and realized she liked having her feet on the ground. Thomas took back his heavy, dragging shadow. As it reattached to his heels, tears pricked his eyes. He remembered the sorrow, yes, but he also remembered the joy that made the sorrow worth it. The weight felt like a warm blanket. The shop is still there between the bakery and the library. Children still go there to rent shadows of dragons and tigers for a bit of fun. But the adults usually just walk past. They look down at the dark shapes following them, sometimes heavy, sometimes crooked, but always theirs. And they smile, knowing that every shadow tells a story that only they can carry.